Hello guys, welcome in. Today we'll be doing another series from the LittleMac League. This is going to be from, I believe it is Group H. LittleMac is out of town, so I picked up on the few series that we have. A lot of players are waiting until the patch drops in order to play their series. So we have a couple to do this week. Trying to get them in before the patch drops because we won't be able to afterwards. So spawning in the upper right-hand corner, we have playing as the Blue Infernal, we have Kel. And his opponent spawning in the bottom left-hand corner as the Red Infernal, we have Baka. Playing under a different account name, but this is Baka. Alright. Looks like Kel has opened with an Iron Vault. He is slowly creeping out with his Shroud, probably going to take an expansion. Looks like Baka is going for the same opening. We have the Iron Vault into the expand, but he has he's not creeping out with the Shroud. You can do it either way. He's using it to put a permanent effigy this way, and he actually has a Shroud Stone. Don't know what I think of a Shroud Stone opening, but again, this is Kel, and I don't know if you guys have been paying attention to any of the other previous tournaments and have seen Kel, but he is an aggressive one. And actually, he was not creeping out. As I say that, we have seen he is not creeping out to take a base. He is creeping out to take down trees and throw his buildings closer so he can actually get across the map faster. I think Baka has just played his opponent. He has played Kel enough times to know that he needs to be defensive. He needs to be ready. He's going to have to defend this natural at all costs from Kel. Kel's not going to get an expansion of his own, probably for not some time. He is committing on the 3 production pressure. Unless he's deciding to. Maybe he saw the Shroud Stone and knows that he can't really press into this, and maybe he's going to get another base. I don't know what this imp is doing, but it is not going towards a base. Maybe he's going to go break these trees. Yep, we see that little green marker on the map. He is going to break down these trees, and I think he's planning to hit at a different angle. Maybe he can break these trees down and then kind of go up this ramp and hit the main and kind of avoid this Shroud Stone entirely. Not a bad idea. I think that's what his plan might be. Yeah, he's just going to commit to this one base pressure. And Baka, he's not really able to, you know, to make too many workers because, like, he's been forced to make these brutes, and he's being forced to make his own 3 production of his own, because if he just, you know, sits quietly and just lets this happen, there's going to be a big army that's going to come into his door, and he knows that. So he has to, you know, he wants to keep this base up and going, mine a little bit from it, but he really has to be weary. He actually has a gaunt over here because I think he knows that that is a possibility. These trees could get broken down.
Detected.
The quiet is probably
will activate soon.
Very worrisome to Baka. It's quiet. He knows his opponent is trying to all in him, but now it is quiet. So what is going on? He is making some workers. He's probably going to sacrifice this Stormgate because, I mean, if you have another base and your opponent does it, you know that his army size is probably going to be much bigger than yours. So he's not really going to risk stepping out on the map right now. This Stormgate is 100% going to go to Kel. Kel knows that his Baka's army might be out trying to come get it, so he doesn't even need his whole army to actually take the Stormgate down. He's weary of Baka trying to come in, so he's splitting up his army, just trying to play defensively around the Stormgate. He's going to get this Stormgate very, very easily. He has a Soul Forge, and he just Soul Forged brutes. I don't know. He's not going to have tier 2 for a while, so there's not really much other things you can really Soul Forge right now. Having higher number of brutes is always going to be really good when you're about to attack your opponent. But honestly, we do have pretty close worker count. I mean, not worker count, supply count. So this is going to be a positioning and a micro battle. He's going to try to lure him towards the Shroud Stone. I don't know if Kel is overextended here. He's getting surrounded by basically all units, and Baka has the defender's advantage, but he does have way more brutes, and the brutes are now being able to hit the gaunts. He's trying to push back and not really, like I said, commit too far into it, because this is his only shot. If he loses his army right here, then it's over for Kel. It is over. And it's not looking like it's going in his favor. I think he needed to commit to this a little bit sooner than he did, being on one base for so long. Kel GG's out, and Baka takes game number 1. All right, jumping into game number 2 in this best out of 3 series. We have spawning in the bottom left-hand corner as the blue Inferno player. We have Kel. And spawning in the upper right-hand corner as the red Inferno player, we have Baka. Baka is actually up a game. Kel trying to go for the all-in last game, and it did not work out. I believe he hit a little bit too late, and it was because of that Shroud Stone being in the front lines to defend. So, although I did not like the Shroud Stone at first, in the end, the Shroud Stone probably won the game. Now, let's see what we'll be doing differently this game. It looks like Kel is opening the same way. So, we have the creep out from with the Shroud into the Iron Vault Conclave. Opening, probably not getting the natural, probably going to be really, really aggressive. We have Baka this time. He knows that this is probably going to happen. He knew last game it might happen. Now he knows for sure it will happen. And he might not be so, you know, positive on his ability to bunker up, not bunker up, but fortify this base like last game. Because this game has, or this map has the shortest rush distance on it. I know that Broken Crown seems like it does, but this one actually is like a complete straight shot across the map. And it is also a map that a lot of Inferno players like to proxy on. So, not getting that base is probably a good idea from Baka. With the Tribute Pyre, yeah, just getting the 3 production of his own, kind of going on a 1 base all-in type strategy. Meanwhile, Kel is only on 2 production, though. So, yeah, it looks like Baka's in a better spot, just like for this all-in. I don't know if either player is going to commit to the all-in, or if they're just defensively, you know, knowing the situation and just playing it, you know, the best way that they can. But I really think that Kel needs either another base or more production. He does put the other Iron Vault down. All right, so Kel is, you know, he's out here on the map. He wants to be the aggressor. Baka's playing defensively, but has a lot more units. I mean, he has like a lot more units, and he has defender's advantage, and he has 1 more production already completed. So yeah, still feel like Baka's in the better position here. Kel just rallying units all across the map. And it looks like Baka wants to move out. He said, your pressure is not hitting. I have this huge force that I can defend with. Maybe I should take this base. And he does. He takes the natural. But again, this could be the death of him, this natural, because yeah, his opponent isn't being super aggressive, but that's because he knows that he can't. But he's not going to get his own base. Like, Kel is going to keep committing to this, and that's what's not going to really be good, because this base is costing him a lot. That's like 2 extra brutes he could have, and or 3 more gaunts, which could be 6 gaunts because you get like 2 in a set.
Dimensional rift detected.
It
A
could be,
Stormgate will activate soon.
It could be the death of him, knowing that, you know, all of these units are going to be spawning from Kel, and the Stormgate's going off. It is a very far away Stormgate. These ones in the corners of the map are a little sketchy to go to, but Kel's going for it. He's got a huge force, and he's going for it. I think the brute did come in. He had a single brute a second ago that did come in, and he probably saw that he did get his natural going, so he knows he's kind of safe. He doesn't think that Baka's going to be moving out on the map anytime soon if he's trying to expand, so getting that corner Stormgate was totally safe for Kel. He does get the Soul Forge. It seems like he likes to get the Soul Forge. A lot of people like to get the Faerun, or the one guy that slows everything. I forget what he's called. The Horror, the Creeping Horror. A lot of people like to go for that. But, you know, in an IVI and your 1 base all-inning, having those 2 extra brutes really could be a huge difference, because you just need more numbers than your opponent, and he's going to have them with the Soul Forge of the brute. Coming in for this attack, his numbers are much higher. He is going to have defender's advantage, Baka, but he did make this base, and he is in a really bad position here. A lot of his brutes have gone down, and you do not want to be fighting brutes with gaunts. And it looks like Kel is getting this around. He is actually, Baka's having to fight with his imps now, which you don't want to do. He's just spawning more and more fiends, and it looks like this went in Kel's favor. And like I said, I think that expansion was the death of him. The GG is called, and Kel takes game number 2. Jumping into game number 3, both players are actually up 1 game. So we have a tied up scoreboard right now. Spawning in the upper right hand corner, we have playing as the blue Infernal Kel. And his opponent in the bottom left hand corner, spawning as the red Infernal player, we have Baka. Now, pretty quick games. Kel really likes to play one base style. Opening 1-1. Baka is opening Ironfall, probably into Expand. Well, I'm not 100% sure, but this is a very long rush distance map. So he probably feels a little bit more safe on this map that Kel won't be able, even if he does do a 1 base, it's going to take him some time to get across the map. So he does feel like he's a little bit safer in this map. He was asking about the maps, but it is a best out of 3, and there is only 3 ladder maps, and that's the map pool, so you just do them all. It still looks like Kel is going for the 1 base again. Even though it is a huge map, he's trying to creep out and get his buildings a little bit further down. I mean, it's not very much closer, but it's as close as you can get in the early stages without really doing a full-on proxy. Now we have 1 Brute. I really don't like this for Baka. I don't see any other production. Maybe he's thinking, hey, this is a big map. My opponent rushed me 2 times. What are the odds of him coming in again? And I think now he's thinking about that, thinking like, hey, wait, this is Kel. He does like to do his 1 base all-ins all the time. So he throws down the 2 safety Shroud Stones. He actually has 1 in the main and 1 in the natural. That, as we saw in game 1, that really pushed Kel away. He doesn't like going into these Shroud Stones with such a small army force, and I don't blame him. Do you see how that Gaunt went instantly down to health? And 1 more shot, it would have been dead. So not very good to really pursue into that until you have a significantly sized force, which is going to slow down the all-in from Kel. He does have another Iron Vault, so we're up to 3 production from Kel. Baka also going for 3 production, but has a Shroud Stone in the main too. So he is basically denying Kel's ability to really all-in, which I do like. Shroud Stones are expensive, and they do take one of your imps to make, so it is a bit of a commitment, but getting the natural up before your opponent and being able to saturate your base and defend will put you in a really good spot later on. Kel knows that he has to come in and do some kind of damage because he knows he has a base, so he has to do something. He's going to try to come around from the side and avoid the Shroudstone fire, but the forces of Baka are just still too big. He does also have production of his own, and he's also mining from his natural, so he's just having more income to create larger army sizes right now. The Stormgate is going off. Kel is going to go for it. It doesn't look like Baka wants to move out because he has a good force, like I was saying, that's included in the Shroudstone. That Shroudstone's not going to move out to the Stormgate, so he is going to allow Kel to get this Stormgate. He can't really contest it, doesn't want to risk it for the better. Baka is in this for the later stage of the game. Kel is only in this for right now, so everything that Kel does has to count. He's going in. He got the Faerun this time. We saw him get the Soul Forge the last couple games, but maybe the Soul Forge wasn't available this time. We don't really get to see his choices. Faeruns are also really, really good though, because in a mirror matchup, you are gonna have units being healed, and your opponent, his units are not getting healed. So this Faerun might be able to keep the Brutes alive long enough to kill these Shroud Stones. But as you see, there's 2 Shroud Stones now, and what appears to be an even larger force. It looks like Baka just has even more Brutes, and these Gaunts kind of getting sandwiched against the tree there. Faerun went down super quick. The Shroud Stone isn't really doing much damage though, so he kind of hit in a nice position. But yeah, just way more numbers from Baka here. And that's because, again, like I said, he needed to... When you do a one base all in, you really need a hit sooner than later, and these Shroud Stones won the game again because they denied him the ability to be able to push and utilize that one base timing, and Baka takes game number 2, takes the series in this best out of 3. Thank you guys for watching.